Lay back, relax, enjoy it all. Saturday night, it's time to say no more. S&M with Tally and KRC. Come pleasure or pain, welcome to the stream.
Hi!
Hello.
We got quiz. We got quiz.
I don't have a Guy Fawkes mask, so I kind of look like him though.
I'm muted. I'm muted. Okay, so there goes my entire intro. Hello everyone, welcome to S&M. I'm Eve. This is Tally. This is our guest Inquisitor 8.1, and then we're back to up to snuff. All right, hi kids. Jesus Christ, like, stop it. This is your fault.
You know what? Yeah, let's blame me. For today, because of how retarded I am,
Because what?
Okay, so today...
Wow, Tally's lagging.
What?
You're lagging like super hard. Try again. What did you turn on?
Is that better?
No.
The stream?
No, turn the stream off. Open chat, but turn the stream off, Tally.
I did.
We had this conversation.
I did it.
Your internet is more potato than Eve's.
No, it's not my internet that's potato. It's my laptop.
Sorry, your laptop is super potato. Your potato makes Polly's potato look like French fries. No, I'm kidding.
No. Polly's is potato. Mine is mashed potato. Okay,
anyway.
Today today Quiz is gonna tell us about the rules of the internet because we're retarded and don't know them.
Yeah, Tally is lagging. Yeah, no, it's just definitely the thing.
Am I still lagging?
Hi. No, you're good.
No, you're fine now.
We got you figured out, and that you close the damn stream. Like you said, if you want to open chat and look at that, that's fine. But having the stream running is not going to help.
When I open the tab to have chat going, as soon as the stream starts, it starts playing automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started lagging, it was because the stream was starting, like playing on YouTube at my end.
Hello, princess. I'm being sniffed. I apologize. Totally inappropriate behavior for stream.
Okay, so today Quiz is going to teach us about the rules of the internet because we're retarded and don't know them.
Yes.
Over to you, Quiz.
Well, let me do a little introduction here. Can we do that? Sure. You know, just a little professionalism.
Go for it.
Thank you,
all
Tally.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Explain. Yeah.
So, Inquisitor here is a good friend of mine from the Minions of the Zoo, and he has so graciously agreed because he's an old hand at things like 4chan and shit like that, and the deepest, darkest parts of the interweb. Okay, maybe not, but you know.
I don't have a torrent browser installed, so.
When I asked him about doing this on Tuesday, he explained to me that he's an old fag.
I am.
And I don't know what that means.
Yes. I can get into it.
Well, do tell, because I have no idea what that means and it just comes off wrong.
Okay, so when it comes to all of this stuff, all of these terminologies are going to be very much ubiquitous with 4chan. 4chan is essentially just a website. It's based off of another website that was really popular in Japan. from the 90s all the way up into the early 2000s. Still runs too. It's currently called 2channel, which is where you get the 4chan. 4chan is 2channel. But the type
There's
of
also a
website
website called 8chan.
it used to be. 8chan doesn't exist anymore. But 8chan was actually a spinoff of 4chan. It was an English user's site. But 2chan is actually based off of another website design called Futaba Channel. So Futaba Channel, what it is it's a website forum entirely dedicated towards the idea that you share images. If you want to start a thread in the forum, you have to share an image when you start the thread.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 4chan, comparatively speaking to other places like Reddit, which everyone is probably a little bit more familiar with, you can browse Reddit without having a Reddit account. But if you want to post something on Reddit, you have to have a Reddit account. 4chan, on the other hand, is entirely anonymous. You do not need to have a 4chan account. You don't need to have a trip code. You don't need to have a username. You don't need to have anything to post anything on 4chan. It is entirely anonymous. And that's where the whole anonymous thing comes from with 4chan. It's they're very, very synonymous with each other. 4chan, anonymous, that's why. And in fact, whenever you don't have a name and you post something on 4chan, your name is literally anonymous.
Which is where the meme that says anon comes from. Everyone referring to the speaker usually in that same situation.
Yes. And when it comes to the rules of the internet, they are a time capsule of specifically the birth of a lot of memes and shit posting of the early ages, and I'll say it was around.
This is like the genesis of memes.
Kind of, yeah. I'd say 4chan really was the really the birthplace of a lot of that. Still is for the most part. A lot of the stuff that you're gonna see on like 9gag and iFunny and especially Reddit, all of it is just ripped off from 4chan. It all originated on 4chan.
Even the way the threads are designed and stuff, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's it's so funny because like a lot of those like big text blobs and things like that, all of that is just straight up they're just screenshots of 4chan on different 4chan boards.
Yeah, I don't actually, because I wasn't planning to get as much into the 4chan side of things, but
well, unfortunately, you can't really talk about the rules of the internet without discussing 4chan.
So, to give an example,
I'm learning.
You're learning. I'm gonna display this to kind of give you an idea of the format here. Oop. No, wrong window. That's the one I want you to display, damn it. Alright. To give y'all an example, I'm gonna switch to that there. That's kind of what we're talking about when we talk about the format of the threads and stuff like that. I think it's actually a little newer. I don't know if you're looking at the stream or not, Quiz.
I am, but it's 10 seconds behind.
Yeah. I think it's actually a little more of a newer format because this is 2015. They've cleaned it up a lot since then, and just the UI interface and stuff.
Yes, a lot of that stuff is it's really fairly the same. In fact, actually, I think this is a mobile app version of it. So you can see right here
this color. They're always this color.
Kind of. This one in particular is B. B and almost any of the other boards are different. All of the other boards, if they are safe for work, are blue, and I can't remember the color of the not safe for work stuff, if it's blue or pink like that.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I know for a fact that B is the big one that everyone seems to visit sometimes for all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So, is there anything else we need to know before we get into this list?
Well, I'll say, speaking of B, if you want to get straight into the list begins with.
Okay, let me put the list up here. Hang on.
All right.
OBS is being a butt. I'll hide that one. And then should be able to share 3 again, and there we go. Haha. So we have those rules of the internet that we wanted to share with y'all last time, a couple of times ago, but Tally and I knew exactly fuck all about what we were talking about. So we got about 3 of them in, and we're just
we were just looking at it. Yeah, we were just looking at it like, what the fuck is this talking about?
Uh-huh.
So I guess I'm here to be your Rosetta Stone for all of this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're our translator. Yes.
Gotcha. I say, do you want to, Eve, list off them, and then if you want, I can explain them.
Number 1, do not talk about B.
And number 2 is you
Also,
do
What is
not
B?
talk about B.
Yeah.
All right. So B, all of the boards on 4chan are topic boards. So each one of them has like a certain topic that you're supposed to post stuff about in that board. A is anime. Well, B is random. It's anything and everything.
Oh,
which
everything
is
goes.
it's literally the wild west of the internet. At least back in
Everything is
2004
good,
it
Or it
was.
could be anything.
Literally
Anything and everything is permissible.
And it's also a not safe for work board too, so it can be literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the reason why you do not talk about B is that B was also the gathering place of a whole bunch of anonymous people to kind of collectively figure out things to do things like fuck with other people on the internet. It was a troll gathering spot, and the reason why you don't want to talk about B, and the reason why no one is supposed to talk about B, is because they didn't want attention getting brought onto B, and other places coming around sitting there saying, "What are these folks on the 4chan up to?" You know, you want to keep that on the down
But
low.
Quiz, you're
is
talking about B.
I know, I'm talking about B.
Which is exactly what happened when CNN found it. It's like, what is this board? Who is 4chan?
4chan.
Yeah,
Who is this
4chan? Yeah. That
See,
meme.
like, I am probably one of the normiest bitches on the internet, and even I was like, no, CNN, 4chan is not a hacker.
Yeah.
Jack says B is coming.
Fine, let them come. Well, say they're combing all the time, so you know it is B. They look for any sort of thing for jack off material. It's kind of their point.
I think the difference between talking about B and describing what B is very different. We're not actually
Very
talking
true.
about what is on B. He's just telling us what it is.
Yes. Also, B is again, with the fact that it is literally anything, means that it's also kind of gross sometimes. You have to sift through a mountain of shit. Well, okay, the way that people had described B back in the day is like it's pissing into an ocean full of piss.
It's pissing into an ocean full of piss. Ew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, take that with what you will. So after you do not talk about B, the next ones are We Are Anonymous. Number 3, We Are Anonymous. Number 4, Anonymous is Legion. Number 5, Anonymous Never Forgets. Number 6, Anonymous can be a horrible, senseless, uncaring monster. Number 7, Anonymous is still able to deliver.
Which
So,
is where the capture the flag thing came from.
well, what all of this means is that, again, B was kind of the gathering place of a lot of people to fuck with a whole bunch of people on the internet. So the whole "we are anonymous, we are legion, we never forgive, we never forget" is also a horrible, caring, unsenseless monster, still able to deliver. The mentality around a lot of the stuff that when you used 4chan was the fact that you are not going there to be part of a nice, sensible, caring community. You are
No.
going there because you are going there to fuck with people for, it's cringy to say it nowadays, but it's for the lulz. It's purely to have a laugh at people who take themselves entirely too seriously on the internet.
Like Shia
And-
LaBeouf.
Like Shia LaBeouf and the whole "he will not divide us" thing. I say, fast forward, God, let's see here, was that 12 years after 4chan even started as a website is when they were fucking with Shia LaBeouf. So they've been doing this kind of shit for a long fucking time. And we can get into it because there's going to be references to some of the earlier things that 4chan has done. The inconsequential dumb shit, but still kind of showing the power of a whole bunch of people. Now, here's the thing also. With a lot of the stuff being the anonymous sort of thing, 4chan is the best encapsulation of what it means to exemplify the penny arcade total fuckwad theory. What the penny arcade total fuckwad theory was
Total
is
fuckwad theory.
is
Wait,
normal
what?
person. It's normal person plus anonymity plus audience equals total fuckwad.
That's true. Wow, that's like that is definitely a rule of the internet, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. And 4chan is the
Well,
microcosm of that.
anonymity. Well, anonymity gives people the essentially the balls to say something that they can't say in everyday life.
They're not beholden to consequences. It's not attached to their name because worst case
Mhm.
scenario, they can go, "Oh, well, I'm ditching this account and moving on to a new one." And
Well, on 4chan, you don't even have.
You don't even have
an
account.
account.
It's
Yeah.
you're just
So
anonymous.
you can just say, "No, that's not me."
Yep.
You have complete deniability when it comes to 4chan because you don't
Mhm.
require an account.
Yep.
Mhm.
So number 7, anonymous is still able to deliver. So that means like every now and then you can ask for something on 4chan.
Like
Sometimes people will sit there and say, "Get fucked. I don't care." Every now and then, a nice anonymous, a kind anonymous, can get you what you're looking for.
There's one other way that I would say that people would deliver in that way, if it
Mhm.
entertains them.
That's true too. Yes, say deliver is also when it comes to the certain thing. Like the internet historian actually brought up one thing in his business video, where the TLDR of that one is that there was a guy who was forced to go to this business conference in somewhere in Tennessee. I can't remember where. It was the Gaylord Hotel. And while there, he took a picture of an area that had these live TV screens that was showing all of the things for the hashtag Agile conference for that. And it was completely unmoderated. So he posted on 4chan and says, "Please help me out here, guys. The more horrible the post, the better it would be." And so B started trying to fuck with it, found out, yes, completely unmoderated images and threads and posts on Twitter were popping up on the hashtag Agile screens. And so they just started flooding it with shit like Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh my
You know,
god.
Oh my god, didn't they do that to that bot that was it Amazon or something? They had a Twitter bot. And people
oh,
turned
you're talking
this
about
Twitter
Tay.
bot.
Yeah,
Tay,
Tay.
yeah.
Yeah, Tay was another thing from 4chan
These
too.
are
It was on
yeah.
beat. Yeah.
They fucked with that too. I
Oh, yes.
remember that.
Until it turned into a horrible Nazi. Yeah, that was Tay. Tay they did that to Tay as well. So yeah, as I say that's the sort
And
of things.
it's not necessarily to say that these people legitimately believe these things. It's
No,
just because like they just
It's-
want to fuck with it just because they
Because, like I
can,
said,
and
it
because it's
entertains
funny.
them.
It's just for
Yeah.
amusement.
For example, there was
Yes.
one I saw. There's a video I saw recently of a guy posting somebody reading a post that was put on 4chan, and it was like, "Hey
Mhm.
guys, I need. This is gonna sound like a weird request, but I need pictures of animals that are look like they're shouting." And he's like, "What is this for some weird furry shit?" And he says, "No, man, I just want to Photoshop microphones into all of the pictures." And then it
So it
literally
looks
like
like
shows
singing,
a music
yeah.
video of all of these animals like screaming into microphones because he's photoshopped microphones into all of the pictures. And it was just
Mhm.
because it entertained them. They were like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll put a little effort into this because it makes me laugh. And it is to me a commentary on the baser instincts of humans in general. Like, this entertains me,
Humans
this
just
interests
wanna
me,
laugh.
therefore I'll put some effort into it. You know, I don't
Sure.
have to do anything here. I don't have to. I could literally do the opposite if I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so much of a like I said, a commentary of what happens when you give a person complete anonymity and freedom. What do? Largely, they do nothing.
Largely, they do stuff that just makes them and other people laugh.
Then just
And
things that matter
there's
to
a
them.
reason people like
Mhm.
me and you and this channel will never be targeted by Anonymous on 4chan. And that's because...
Don't
Well-
say shit like that, Tally. That's how
Well,
you get people who go,
unlikely.
"Oh, really?"
Unlikely.
People will go, "Oh, really? You'll never be targeted." No.
Well, I'll say that.
Well,
that,
we're
that
unlikely to be targeted because we don't take ourselves too seriously. And if they did target us, we would just laugh at it.
I say there's stuff about that later on in the list too.
Well, so shut your mouth, Tally, before you get us in trouble.
Well, if they did, it would just be stuff that we would just laugh at. I mean, let's face it, we don't take
Sure.
ourselves too seriously.
Sure, Tally. Hush.
We're not the...
Hush.
Okay, I will
I'd rather
shut
not
up
get
now.
doxxed. Thank you very much.
All right. So rule number 8 is there are no real rules about posting, and rule number 9 is there are no real rules about moderation either. Enjoy your ban. So
Is there any moderation at all on 4chan?
This is actually one of the things that I love to bring up because yes, when I said before about how B was the wild west of the internet, that's absolutely the case. There's no rules about posting. You know, no one's going to sit there and this isn't Reset era where if you say something like I disagree about this character about Abby from Last of Us 2, banned for transphobia, banned for blah. You're not going to have all of that kind of shit, popping up like Reset era.
Eve
4chan.
has said, hang on, just to interject. Eve has said how much she hates Abby from The Last of Us, and she's
Oh.
literally a trans woman.
I would say my
Wait,
whole.
what does Abby
I
have
can
to
go
do?
into
Abby's not
to
trans.
Last of Us. Abby's not trans. No.
No, but she just looks like a man. I know. But,
I would say my whole thing about
kinda
Last
butch,
of Us
but,
2 is that I get into that
I-
because that's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
I
conversation.
do, just to add a comment before we move on. I do find it interesting how the people that say that Abby, they defend Abby, and if you disagree, you don't like you're transphobic. But Abby's not supposed to be trans. She's just a manly-looking bitch, and therefore they are saying that trans women look like men,
It's the
and
unintentional.
that categorically is not true.
Yeah.
Look at Eve.
The racism / transphobia / homophobia of low expectations.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever the
I mean,
ism
my
of
sister-
low expectations.
My
So,
sister has called me homophobic before, and I've literally had
But-
sex with women.
Anyway, moving on.
so yes, there are no rules about posting. Again, you're not gonna have people sit there, getting all up in arms like, reset era. But there's no rules about moderation either. Enjoy your ban means that if a moderator of 4chan, there are moderators, decide it's funny to ban you because of something you've said, they will do so. One of my favorite ones is someone posts the thread starts. It's got the picture because again, whenever you post on 4chan, the OP, the original poster, needs to post a picture when they first start the thread. The picture is of a black flag with a white peace symbol on it, and it says, "Can't we all just get along?" User was banned for this post. So that's what that means.
I think you got
That's some
Tally
funny
tickled.
shit. That's some funny shit, though. That sounds like something I would ban someone for just cause.
Yep. So now we've established that.
Just because it's funny.
Yep.
So when they ban you, does it just ban your account, which it's an anonymous posting, so you just make a new one?
It bans your IP. So
Okay.
yeah, what that means is like and again, this is a sort of thing back in 2004.
VPNs, people.
VPNs weren't really a thing, so you need to download a proxy server so that you could get back onto 4chan. And it's funny because like most people who were on 4chan knew how to run a proxy, so banning people on 4chan really didn't do very much.
Yeah.
It was literally just for the shits and giggles to ban someone, man.
Exactly.
It was literally just for the joke that someone would get like banned, like what you described a minute ago.
Yep. Well, there's tons of jokes like that are all over the place for
and I can
for
imagine the
4chan's
person
banning.
that got banned found that funny.
I guarantee you he did. All right. So number 10 is if you enjoy any rival sites, don't. Which I think might be again, I'm old hat here. I'm from 4chan back in 2004. So if you enjoy any other sites, don't. Meaning, if you go to another site and you find something that you thought was kind of funny, there's still a level of resentment to it. I resent Reddit for almost everything that Reddit is.
Knock off 4chan, yeah.
Yeah, it's a rip-off 4chan. Fuck Reddit. Even if Reddit does have some cool shit in it, I'm still gonna bag on Reddit because fuck Reddit.
Reddit is like discount 4chan.
Yes.
Well, they did
With
what
moderation.
capitalism. They did what capitalism does, and what we do in a capitalist society. They took it and they made it more palatable to the palatable to the general
Masses.
public. Yeah, the general public. They watered it down so that it was more easily digested by those who aren't used to that level of shitlordery and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they watered it down for people that have thinner skin.
Well, not even necessarily just thinner skin, but just the general public. Like, even people who aren't necessarily thin-skinned aren't necessarily interested on going on this back of the internet website 4chan, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you take that and you make it you give it a nice, pretty layout, font, organization, proper moderation and rules and things like that, and then you make it look presentable to the public.
Yeah, but then they took away the anonymity and the fact that you can't do anything on there without having an account.
Mm-hmm. But that's how they track you and keep people safe from the nasty things you could say to them, so.
Yeah. That's really what it all comes down to, is the fact that Reddit having the removal of anonymity means that they're trying to moderate people from their delicate sensibilities, whereas 4chan just doesn't give a shit. 4chan's fuck you and your delicate sensibilities. I don't care.
Well, 4chan's entire thing is offense is not given, it is taken, and if you
Yeah.
take offense, that's on you.
Yeah.
Whereas
And if you're offended, then they'll just laugh at you.
whereas Reddit went the other way with us, we know that offense is taken, but if someone takes offense to what you said, that's your fault.
Mhm.
It's
So-
a difference between saying it's your fault if you're offended, or it's
Mhm.
someone else's fault for causing your offense.
Yeah.
So number 11.
All your carefully picked arguments can be easily ignored. Anything or 12, anything you say can and will be used against you. 13, anything you say can and will be turned into something against something else. All of this is meant to say that you don't take yourself too seriously when you post shit, because anytime that you are going to be thinking that you are fighting any sort of good fight or any of that kind of stuff, if you're taking yourself entirely too seriously with any of your posts on 4chan, you will be nothing but mocked.
This is why you would know every time someone on the internet says, I know a bunch of hackers on 4chan and we're gonna dox you. No.
Okay.
No, they don't.
Here's the big thing about that. You know, people like Mediker, I know has said stuff like this, and the only thing that pops into my mind is the old adage from B: "Not your personal army, faggot."
Yeah.
These are the same people that would say stuff like, "I'm going to reverse search your IP from a."
I backtraced it. Called the cyber police.
Okay.
I know people who could actually do that, and they don't.
They
They
would
don't
just
care
laugh.
enough. You'd have to piss
It's like,
one of them off. And most
alright,
of them aren't easily
it's that
pissed
old.
off.
It's that old saying from the Ocean's 11 movie. I know all the people that you would send after me, and they like me better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the major thing, right? All of those rules boil down to number 14. Do not argue with trolls. It means that they win.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Very, very simple rule. It's very hard, especially when your emotions and your candor is up and you're very passionate.
They
and,
get that
and
reaction
wanting
out of
to,
you.
Yeah, but they're
It's
getting the
kind of like
reaction
that.
out of you.
It's kind of like that interaction I had with that feminist who blocked me on Twitter. I was just trolling the shit out of her, and she went after my appearance, and she went after everything that she could, and there were other people in the thread saying, "Well, I think she's quite pretty, really," and I was just there laughing my ass off because she was saying, "Well, I've made money with my face and all this sort of thing," and someone asked her, "All right, what do you look like?" So I just reshared the meme, just like this apparently. Because we were arguing about the fact that angry feminists look like blobfish in a wig. Which is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't get over that. But I was just trolling the shit out of her because, like, she interacted. She flipped out about a meme I shared.
Number 12.
Number 15.
Number 15.
I was actually in a voice chat
yes.
while that was
I
going
thought
on,
we
and
would
it
just
was
finish
hilarious.
all your carefully picked arguments can be easily ignored.
Well, yeah, all the way down to 14. 12 to
Oh.
14 is all kind of related.
Okay, to anything you can.
He's
Anything you say
blocking
can
them
and will be
in-
used against you, and anything you say can be turned into something else.
Yes.
Yep,
Oh,
he's
okay.
basically blocking these in like things
Yeah,
that are related that
'cause-
make sense together.
Yeah, the blocks are sort of related. So number 15, the harder you try, the harder you will fail. Number 16, if you fail in epic proportions, it may just become a winning failure. 17, every win fails eventually. So what that means is the harder you try to make a meme. If you say that this meme is great, it's really funny, and I'm gonna post it there, and people are gonna love it, it's going to fail, and you're going to look like a fool. Every now and then, if you fall on your face hard enough, it will be awesome. But like all
I've
good
done that.
things, if it's funny, it will get old. That's
Yeah.
essentially what all three of those rules mean.
If it's funny, it will get old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, jokes have a lifespan.
I mean,
Have a
there's
shelf
this,
life. Yeah.
the psychological aspect of it is the reason something makes you laugh, the reason you find it funny is because it's a novel way of thinking about something that you didn't before, like a
Yeah.
pun or a joke that, you know, which is why a lot of people end up going to edgier jokes, because it's out in a realm when you're not really thinking about it every day. You're not allowed to think that way a lot of times because it might offend someone, but that's why those jokes are often so much funnier, is because most people's brains don't operate on that level on a daily basis. So when you do go and wander into that and you just go, ha, that's funny, that's novel, it's new to your brain. But once it has been played over so many times, it becomes less novel and your brain finds it less funny.
Oh, you mean like the
Mhm.
Bernie memes? To begin with, the Bernie sitting down memes were funny. After about 10 memes,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
I think they're
it
pretty.
was overplayed at that point.
I think they're pretty funny still. if they're creative and they're photoshopping, I think they're still pretty funny.
I know one person in particular who intends to use that with something, and it'll be hilarious when it happens. So
I say the most recent one I saved, I thought it was hilarious. It's someone photoshopped the up to the mittens onto the legs of a skateboarder who's grinding on a rail, and it said radical left. I love that one. That was a good one.
wow. Bernie
Okay.
memes always sucked. Wow. That's aggressive, Jack.
So number 18, everything that can be labeled can be hated.
Oof.
Number 19, the
wrong.
more you hate it, the stronger it gets. I think we're getting a little bit of a macrocosm of 2016 in this too.
Yeah, like
We're 4chan a little on the nose on that one.
Mm-hmm.
they saw this shit coming.
Number 20, nothing is to be taken seriously.
Which is what we've said all along. Like, you shouldn't take yourself too seriously. Like,
A lot of
I-
these rules really boil down to number 20 there. Yeah.
Nothing is to be taken seriously. No, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially on the internet.
Yeah. Number 21, original content is only original for only a few seconds before getting old. What that means is whenever anything brand new is posted on 4chan, people will interact with it and it'll all be great until it immediately gets old.
I'm guessing stuff on 4chan has like a 3-hour shelf life.
Especially on B, yes.
And that's being generous.
Yeah.
People will
Like,
laugh at it and they'll be like, okay, I'm bored of this, and move on.
Well, back in the day, posts on B, B was such a rapidly turning around board that you'll have a page will have maybe about 10 or 11 or so threads, and then you'll have 10 pages. Back when B was in its heyday, a thread on B, you could post something and bump it within the first beginning of the thread, but so many people are starting new threads that as soon as you start your thread, it's immediately on page 4.
That's
Like,
a
it
lot.
was new threads were bumped that constantly, so it pushed you all the way back to page 4. So
And let's face it, no one looks past page 2.
well, I used to browse 4chan all the time. In fact, I still do. But I relegate myself to the interest boards. I don't go to B anymore. But there was a time where I was a daily B browser. So.
Especially
Yeah.
since all the 12-year-olds found it and were like, look, I'm on 4chan, I'm edgy boy.
Well, no, it's the fact that 4chan changed hands. It used to be run by a guy named Moot. That was his online handle. But
Is that the one that had CNN break into his house?
I've not heard that one.
There was a guy that ran 4chan or 8chan or one of these message boards.
I think that was 8chan.
And he had journalists break into his house to try and force an interview out of him.
No. No, I don't think it
And,
was.
and
I don't think it was
his
Moot.
response was basically to say, "Get the fuck out of my house before I call the police for breaking and entering."
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next two is 22 and 23. Copy pasta is made to ruin every last bit of originality. 23. Copy pasta is made to ruin every last bit of originality.
Enough said.
Yeah. So for
Creepypasta
those
suck.
for the
No. Copy pasta is different from
Copy
creepypasta.
Oh.
yeah those for those
Oh.
that aren't initiated when it comes to the terminology. Creepypasta is it's built on to copy pasta, but copy pasta is essentially where someone just copies and pastes something that someone else said, usually verbatim, sometimes with edits, but it's essentially a means and a way to take something that someone has said, mock the ever-loving shit out of it, and then also make it so dumb that no one wants to repeat it anymore. But every now and then there's some copy pastas that stand the test of time. The very good one is from our good friend Polydub. He posted his own voiceover of the 300 confirmed kills copy pasta. Yeah, it's a good one.
I was a sniper in the Marines with 300
confirmed
confirmed
kills. Yep, on high targets in Al Qaeda and blah 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 blah. Yep.
I'm actually going to link that in chat here, so you kids can go check it out. It's a little 2-minute video that Polly did a reading of that copy pasta, the Navy SEALs copy pasta, and it's hilarious. Polly does an amazing job at it.
Mm-hmm.
His little soldier otter.
I will check that out after we're done, because it does.
I'll DM
Assassin
it
of the
to you
Grey.
so you don't
What
have to
did you
open
just
it.
say to me? You're nothing but a target. All right. So 24. Every repost is always a repost of a repost. Going back on the whole, ruining every last bit of originality, it's essentially just, if you repost something, everyone's already seen it before. Doesn't mean that people can't find some use out of it, of you reposting it, but if you repost something, everyone's already seen it before.
Yeah, and that tends to be like if you find a meme and then you send it to your friend who's like, I've already seen this meme 3 weeks ago on Reddit or whatever, and then he just
I always do that kind of shit with Zelthor.
I was like, forgive me, meme lord.
I say he'll post something and he's like, I sent that to you. So
oh my goodness.
So okay, 25. Relation to the original topic decreases with every single post. Yes. Threads derail all the time on 4chan. Every now and then, like on topic boards, for the most part, things stay fairly on topic. But every now and then, there's a whole thread that's wholly meant to be something that goes off topic all the time. That goes, that derails. It's meant to be derailed.
We do that all the time.
Mm-hmm. So it just as it goes on, it's meant to just kind of evolve, and
well, that's how conversations naturally evolve. You will say something, and someone else will say, "That reminds me of this," and then you will start talking about another subject, and then gradually before you know it, you were like, how did we get onto this subject when we started on this,
And
which is not
Before
related
you know
at
it,
all?
somebody's being called Hitler, and then the argument's over.
Well, not quite that far, but I would say, and that relates to the very next rule. Any topic can easily be turned into something totally unrelated.
We call that squirreling.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically where you're talking about something and your mind just goes, "Oh, a squirrel," and it's
See,
completely unrelated.
But the difference is like on sites like 4chan and posting sites like that, it's usually just person 1 starts somewhere, person 2 takes it slightly off, and then person 3 takes it slightly off, and then person 4 takes it slightly off. And you have several people who just take it in different directions, and that's how it ends up there. People like you and me, Tally, we do all that on our own.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We just take it and just go, oh, look, squirrel. Oh, look, squirrel. Oh, look, squirrel. You know, and the next thing you know, we're 3 subjects away, and we're like, how did we get here again? I don't know. Let me go back and watch the footage. Oh, my goodness.
So all the next of these are going to be all related here. Number 27. Always question a person's sexual preferences without any real reason.
Are you gay?
You fucking gay?
Are you fucking gay?
Are you fucking
You must
gay?
be gay.
Number 28. Always question a person's gender, just in case it's really a man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Number 29. In the internet,
I can't
all
do a man voice.
well, I would say, hold on. Number 29. In the internet, all girls are men and all the kids are undercover FBI agents.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
30. There are no girls on the internet.
Oh no, we don't exist, Steve. We're
31.
only men.
Tits or get the fuck out. The choice is yours.
You
There we go,
know
Tyler. Just
what?
kind of, you know.
I always
'Kay.
choose tits.
So, all of these actually are interrelated and have a point. Okay?
Mhm.
Thoughts. Why does everyone dislike thoughts?
I don't know. Like, I've been trying to be one, but apparently you have to, like, be mean to your subscribers. First off, you have to have subscribers.
that.
I didn't realize that I had to do that, so I have to do that. I have to set that up. So people can start subscribing to
And
me
then
so I
you
can
have to
abuse
flip
them.
out and shout like it's been a
God,
whole
it just
5
sounds
minutes
like
and
so
no
much
one's giving me money.
work. It sounds like so much
No.
work.
It's been 5 minutes. I haven't gotten a single sub in 5 minutes. Anyway,
Right?
so we can break this down. Right? Why do
Do it.
people dislike thoughts? The reason why is because they are using their sexuality, their gender, and all these sorts of things to manipulate someone into ways that is either financially gainful or is gainful in like clout or other sorts of ways that they can manipulate people into their personal benefit, right? So breaking
Maybe
all
that's
of these
why we're
things,
not very successful. We don't manipulate people.
that's really what it is. So breaking all these rules down, it describes a certain sort of behavior. Your Pokemanes, your Alinities, your all of those kinds of people are all exactly what is exemplified in 4chan's rules about protecting yourself from these sorts of people who would manipulate you. And you want to know the ultimate weapon when using against these sorts of people? Show me your tits or get the fuck out.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, That's
They want to
the
use their sexuality without actually
Here, kids. This is as much as I can do on YouTube. I'm sorry. Here, a little bit of cleavage, maybe. You know,
I can't I don't really.
that's the best I can do. There you go. Tally giving y'all the good stuff. There you go. It's been like.
She got way more than I do.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
Here we go. 32. You must have pictures to prove your statements. So what this really boiled down to is when like
Pixar
'cause
didn't happen.
Reddit is the one thing that like everyone knows about this kind of shit, but it all originated on 4chan. Like everything Reddit does, it all originated on fucking 4chan. So
of course it did.
Reddit has a
Reddit isn't original at all.
No, it's not. Reddit has a whole thing now where it's synonymous with Reddit. It's called AMAs, Ask Me Anythings, right? Where they'll have someone post something and sit there and say, hey, I am this, ask me anything. So it's any sort of related topic if you wanted to talk about, say, like a soldier who is deployed in Iraq. Hey, I'm a soldier who's deployed in Iraq. Ask me anything. So it's, anything that you wanted to ask a soldier that was deployed in Iraq. 4chan did that shit first. And what they did is they didn't use the term AMA. They just posted a picture holding up a piece of paper that said "Sup B" and then the date, and then post the picture. So then you could sit there and say,
So if you are actually a
proof.
soldier, you can't actually just say I'm a soldier deployed in Iraq.
yeah,
You would actually have to have Sup B, the date, and then you can cover your face with the sign if you want. But provided you are actually a soldier in Iraq,
yeah, you can't fake that shit. You're sitting in front of a Humvee in the middle of a fucking desert. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of shit that means.
I'm a
so
gynecologist. Ask me anything. Sup, B? his hand up in there. Tally doesn't find this joke funny.
wait, what?
Did you catch it? Okay, so he said, like, you have to prove it with pictures, right? So instead of
Yeah.
going AMA, I'm a soldier, ask me anything, he posts a picture of himself sitting in a Humvee in, like, the middle of Iraq, and it's like, okay,
Clearly
so
you are a soldier in a Humvee.
instead
You
of
must be
AMA,
deployed.
I'm a gynecologist, ask me anything, it's Sup, B?
hand gemmed all the way in there.
he's elbow deep in some chick's vagina.
Albert, how deep do you think that cavity goes?
I mean,
I don't know,
if you make a
Tally.
fist,
How
I'm
deep
sure
does
you could
it?
probably go elbow deep. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know the cavity's only like that deep before you get to cervix, right?
Yeah.
And that's on the larger end of it.
Mhm.
Like for it can be smaller or deeper depending on the size of the woman.
Sorry, I heard roommate open the front door and the
Okay,
dog freaked out.
I'm sorry. Like, go on.
So, okay, we're almost at
Okay.
the one that everyone knows.
Almost there.
So the next one is number 33. Lurk more. It's never enough.
Oh yeah, I love to lurk.
Yes, I'm gonna say that's the big thing is that a lot of people, they like to jump in and immediately start posting, and a lot of times you're gonna be not really contributing all that much and pissing a lot of people off. So in lieu of that, just enjoy everyone else's shit posting.
That's what I do. I just enjoy everyone else's shit posting. Why? Because
Mhm.
I haven't got anything funny to say myself. Every so often I am accidentally funny. But I
Well,
can't
it's
come
a-
up with something funny.
It's the whole going back to referencing earlier rules is every fail wins. Yeah, or well, if a fail is epic enough, it wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But every
Someone
win will
described
eventually
me
fail.
the other day as a real life anime character. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
not
So-
even wrong.
Tally is a real life anime character.
So here we go. The one that everyone knows, the one that has its own website, the one that has t-shirts, has all sorts of shit like that. Rule 34. There is porn of it, no exceptions.
Yep. If it
But-
exists, there is porn of it. Yep.
The less
But-
off-remembered one is, but also still very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's
is
35.
35.
If you can't find porn of it, it will be made.
It will be made.
And I have actually experienced this firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
There was a friend of mine I worked with when I worked at GameStop. We came across this little PSP game, and I was trying to prove to him that I forget what it was. I think we were having a discussion about it, and I think this is when I first found out about Rule 34. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that I can just go pick up any video game off that shelf over there, and there will be porn of it somewhere? He's like, yeah. And I managed somehow to find the one game that he could not find porn of. And I picked it up, and I'm like, okay, what was this like? It was some kind of like, it was little pipe matching games, right? Like, it was like you twist the pipes and put them in the right place to make the water flow, and then you move on to the next level. It was
I know
very
what game.
simplistic. But it did have a couple, it was a PSP game, but it did have a couple little characters on the front. So what he did, when he searched all over, could not find porn of it. He's like, okay, then Rule 35, we have to make porn of it. So he being an anime artist, he drew casually pretty, he drew a lot. But he went and made it and then sent me a copy of it because he like
There you go, now
drew the
porn
girl
exists of it.
from the cover hanging from by these pipes on the ceiling, and like an alligator has reached up and snapped at her and ripped her clothes off, so she's hanging there like half naked, And I'm just like, of all the things you could have taken, that's the way you went with it. He's like, yeah, has to be porn of it.
There you go. You porn didn't exist of it, and now it does.
And now it does, because
Apparently you don't browse D very much, do you?
D? No. What's D?
D is a board on 4chan. It's hentai alternative.
I might
What's
have that
hentai
bookmarked.
alternative? What's hentai alternative? Because I know what hentai is.
Tentacles, futanari, all sorts of stuff like that.
It may or may not be in a bookmark somewhere. I got
No
bored,
comment.
okay? I got bored and went on there, and it's like, oh, this is... And when it comes to, like, porn, I'm just like... Whatever floats my boat that day when it comes to porn.
Yeah.
I'm really
You
weird
know
with
what?
it.
I have gone down some porn rabbit holes that have turned quite dark. It started off as, oh, that's quite hot. Oh, that's quite hot. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times. I won't admit to it on air what the breaking point for me was why I kind of shied away from certain things. But there's a particular one that I came across, and it probably wasn't even the worst thing I ever saw, but it was the one that made me stop and go, did I just fap to that?
It was a
Ew.
Guro. It was a Guro.
What's Guro again?
Yeah, you don't know what Guro? Gore.
Oh,
no.
not quite. It was
No,
like
right.
snuff hentai.
Yeah, Guro.
It didn't show blood and gore, but it was like they spit
One of my
roasted
absolute
the
favorite-
woman and cooked her and ate her.
Huh?
You will sit
After
there and you will
fucking
just
her.
be clicking through, and you will go, I quite enjoy that.
And
I
I
quite
was
enjoy that.
sitting there kind of going,
Okay, I don't know why
been
I'm
a while
looking
since
at
I felt
this,
this
but something
ashamed.
about it appeals to me, and gradually it'll just get darker and darker and darker and darker until you're like, why am I looking at this still?
You know,
Well,
there's a
it's judging
whole
lady.
Chan board dedicated just to Guro, right?
Of course there is.
It's called Guro Chan.
I'm good.
Of course there is. No thanks.
And
There's
see,
been a
that's the
couple
thing
of
is,
them I've seen
I'm
Mm.
not like shied away from porn or any of the more explicit stuff. So I actually have browsed Guro Chan quite often because as an artist, it's actually fairly good to see other people's interpretation of like anatomy, especially when it comes to like, vivisections and blood, guts, and gore and stuff like that. So when it comes to that sort of stuff, I don't have a squeamish stomach.
I wouldn't
And-
fap to to it though.
Oh, I wouldn't fap to it either, but it's actually
I mean, some
really
of it is
interesting.
If you're
to-
browsing it analytically,
All
I
right,
can
you
see
know
going
what?
over
I
core.
see.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from with that. Some of it is interesting to see when it comes to
Mhm.
interpretations and all that sort of thing. But what? Hell no.
It's like when it comes to like artistic interpretation, be it like drawn art or animation, usually I'm okay with seeing that as long as it's one of those things I'm not going to fap to it, sure, certainly, but because I kind of draw the line there. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like real gore, like it's actually no, this is somebody got their head blown off, like some of those like Al Qaeda execution videos and stuff that float around, or ISIS execution videos. I just
Yeah, I
Well,
am
there's
that
a-
way
well, the
sometimes
difference
too.
suicide
there
videos.
is
No.
well, there's a very big difference because one is artistic interpretation. No one was hurt. It is just like it's just pixels on a screen, or it's just a drawing.
Yeah.
Like no one can get hurt in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one is actually a depiction
the
of
other
someone
one is
dying.
actually someone getting hurt.
So actual
maimed,
human
murdered.
suffering does not do things for me.
Say I've some of those I can
any
muscle
kind of way.
through. Some of them I just can't. I get it. The one that I actually watched into to its full conclusion is the one that I still say that that cop should be swinging from the fucking rafters. The one that he had the barrel with engraved "You're fucked." There's a whole body cam video of him mag dumping on a guy who's completely unarmed.
I don't know
And-
what you're talking about.
this
he
is-
just opens up and
Yeah, he's
empties the
all
magazine.
every bullet in the magazine he pumped into a guy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say that if that was body cam footage, and he would have faced repercussions for that, especially.
all he did was got fired, and he's still getting a stipend from the police department for his PTSD. Yeah, no, he should be swinging from the fucking rafters. Fuck that cop. But anyway,
You know what? Cops like that make all the good ones look bad.
yes.
I
Yes,
do
they
find it incredible that like you go into like you look into like the stuff that like politicians do, and there are a lot of shitty politicians and very few very good politicians.
Mhm.
But no one equates the bad politicians with the good politicians, or very few people do. However, you go to cops and you've got a large majority of good cops and then a very small minority of bad cops. But everyone says those very few bad cops make all of the good ones look bad.
We're veering off of target here with the
Sorry, go on.
that. But
Well,
that actually
to be
goes
fair,
to the,
Yeah, I was gonna say the next rule is pretty apropos when it comes to the conversation. Number 36. There will always be even more fucked up shit than what you just saw.
mhm.
Oh, of course there will, because people are like, especially if you like go into the mind of someone that is artistic, but also very mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I swear that the guy that H.P. Lovecraft,
Mm-hmm.
he was definitely mentally or emotionally disturbed to come on some level to come up with the shit he came up with. And then but he was an author, a writer. So, and he was in a time when you couldn't really, people were more railed in with their fuckery, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in today's society, you've got something like 4chan where you are completely anonymous and people can just go absolutely crazy with the shit that they think up in their mind, and then they can put it out there for the world to see.
It's cathartic. It's
Well,
definitely
it
cathartic.
is a very good way to deal with it.
Mhm.
See, people that are emotionally disturbed but artistic at the same level, they will draw this stuff so they don't act on it
Oh yeah.
because they
I'll say-
found an outlet.
I made jokes about this in Discord several times and conversations with people. I don't think I've ever said it on stream. There's probably a fairly good reason why there's never been a mass shooting at an art school.
Well, yeah, because people have an outlet for
Mhm.
all of their fucked up ways of thinking and all of that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
they're encouraged.
And if an
Oh,
art
yeah,
student
they're-
picks on you, you just kick his ass. I mean,
Like,
see you
if someone,
try, Eve. I'd like to see you try.
like someone who is very emotionally disturbed, if you give them a creative outlet, and this is why people in mental facilities are encouraged to do art and all of that sort of thing, because it gives them an alternative outlet to violence.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if more public schools encouraged artistic creativity as an outlet for stuff that a lot of people and issues a lot of people have, like even if you're not good at it, it will curb violent urges.
Mhm.
So don't shoot up your school, kids. Just draw it.
Yeah, talk about
just
it.
draw shooting up your school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
write about it. Draw it. Don't actually do it.
Write a story about it. Draw it. And then if someone sees that you're doing this, you can explain to them creative outlet to avoid it actually happening. Although you do get those people that they see these drawings or they read
Nah,
these
don't
writings of
say
these
that.
kids, and they try to stop them from doing that writing because they think it will lead. No, that writing and those drawings actually prevent that person from doing
It's
that.
catharsis.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
like I tell people, I go shoot people in video games because I don't want to shoot people in real life.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the same sort of thing. Like, and the big problem I've seen with a lot of these kids that do end up doing school shootings, they have got like all of these writings and these drawings that they've done, but then their parents have found these writings and their drawings and they've put a stop to it.
Chastised them for it. Yep.
Yeah. No,
Erica
it's
Phoenix
an
says that-
artistic outlet and it prevents them from doing something truly heinous.
Mhm.
Kefki says, or write about it. Lodi writes about morbid shit, but he would never hurt anyone again. Again. So it really is true. American Phoenix says, I got sent to the principal for writing angry poems in school. Well,
Yeah, and
That's
that's the
rude.
problem. See, the thing is, like, you don't see that issue in art school, like you said, because people are encouraged to just go where the muse takes them. And if that is an angry, dark place, it's an angry, dark place.
There's some of the... What was the band I remember? They said they wanted to stop making music because once they actually got successful and started, their lives started to come together, they wanted to stop making music because it's like, we have nothing to make music about. It was all of our anger and pain and the stress in our lives that we poured into this music, and now that our lives are better, we don't really
They're not
wanna-
angry or in pain anymore.
We don't have
I
anything
would-
to sing about.
Yeah, I would imagine it's probably an emo band or some of some kind.
It was a heavy metal band, like a
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, on to the next.
I mean,
one,
they
'cause
could have
wanna-
always gone
oh.
down the Taylor Swift route of constantly picking the wrong men and breaking up with them so she can write about it.
Sounds like your life story, Tal.
Shut up.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
I didn't. Difference is, I didn't get famous writing music.
I
about
know,
it.
right? You should have wrote some songs about it, Tally. Then your life would be in a better place. That's what you did wrong. You should have wrote some songs.
No.
So it says with Hold's opinion about art school.
Well, I'll say I could fill a whole stream about my experience in art school. So
We might have to have you back on for another one of those. Or you might need to actually make videos on your own channel and put them up there so people can see the amazing content that you do.
Yes.
I
Okay.
I
next
very
one.
intentionally do not post any of my actual artwork online because I have seen all of the horror story threads of people who find an artist's work and try to commission them.
Oh,
if I-
choosing beggars.
If I ever post any artwork online, know for a fact that there is one fundamental truth about me. I am never available for commission. Do not ever contact me.
Well, there are people that will
I'll
put
DM you
it,
later.
like on bios and all that sort of thing that they don't do commissions.
Yeah. But people will still ask anyways, like, yeah, but you can make an exception for me because I'm special and entitled and anonymous on the
It's like,
internet.
bitch, you ain't that
Yeah.
special.
Okay. What's the next one?
All right. So what's the next one?
Okay, so after that,
37.
okay, so a lot of these, I'm just gonna rapid fire them. They're just straight up memes. They're just straight
Okay.
memes. You cannot divide by 0 just because the calculator says so.
I have no idea. I'm lost on this one.
Have you ever tried that? Get a calculator and divide by 0.
It just goes error usually, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. But the meme in it is that you can't divide by 0. It's physically impossible to divide by 0. So what do you do when you divide by 0? You create a wormhole that sucks everything into the
Okay, so
reality.
I just did it on the calculator that's on my desktop.
No, don't tell me, don't.
It just says cannot divide by 0.
But yeah, so that it's a meme. Divide by 0 is a meme. Let's see here. 38. There are no real limits of any kind apply here. Not even the sky. No real limits of any kind apply here, not even the sky. So yeah, again, it's the whole wild west of the internet. Anything can be posted at any time. Doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Number 39. Caps lock is cruise control for cool.
Yeah, overuse of caps lock.
I
Number
always find
40.
it amusing when people they have the cap lock on, they don't realize they've got the cap lock on, so they press shift to cap the first letter, and it's just one lowercase letter followed by all caps.
I got one for you after all this, but number 40. Even with cruise control, you still need to steer. So there was one thing. I had this friend back in oh god, this is the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. She lived in New Zealand, and she and I would talk all the time on online, of course. But one of the things that she turned me on to is a website called bash.org. Okay.
Okay.
Bash.org is a website that collects all of these chat logs from ICQ. ICQ was like an instant message program back in the day, back when there was like AOL Instant Messenger and all those other kinds of things. ICQ was a different version of that.
Yeah.
So it was a
Much
chat
more,
room program.
much more like base level than any of those.
Oh yeah,
two.
extremely. Yeah, you had to have
You had
at
to
least
have like the IP
little bit of-
address to log into that particular server and shit, and
and have a little bit of knowledge of TCP/IP to be able to communicate on ICQ.
Mhm.
But one of my favorite ones is it was a chat log. One person. Hi everybody, how's it going? It's all caps. Next person. Try hitting the caps lock key. Next, the first person. Oh, thanks! It's so much easier to type now.
Do you remember when cruise control cars first came out and people thought that cruise control meant it was self-driving? So they would turn on cruise control and just lay back.
Yeah.
I remember when my mother figured out that all caps means that you're yelling on the internet. She's like, I found this out today. And I was like,
Oh.
I would say that's another thing we could do too. I can pull up bash.org and start reading off some of the amazing quotes on bash.org.
it still exists.
Oh yes, it definitely does still exist. And new stuff is getting added all the time.
You know the O.J. Simpson trial website still exists?
I'm not shocked. Space Jam's website still exists.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there are
Uh,
crazy websites that have like no one uses them anymore, but they're still up and they're still being maintained and they still exist.
Okay. The next one
41.
is 41. Desu isn't funny. Desu isn't funny. Seriously, guys, it's worse than Chuck Norris jokes. Okay. So that is a very specific thing. There was a character in the anime Rosen Maiden. Her name was
Okay.
Suisei Seki, and all her like little quirk of the way that she talked is that she would end all of her sentences with a very, very strong and very pronounced desu. Now, normally in Japanese, you don't actually say desu. Essentially, the purpose of that word is it's a period. It's a period at the end of a sentence. It's meant to say this is the end of the thought that I had just
So it's
conveyed.
like you're sending a telegram and say,
Stop.
"Tally has arrived. Stop."
Yes, that's essentially what desu, but it's the way they pronounce it because like Japanese love to remove certain things in syntax if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They just say des. They don't say desu. So the fact that this character would do that, it was a meme on 4chan where they would just keep on all caps desu 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 and just keep on spamming that with pictures of Suisei Seki. So it was a very niche, very specific meme. Okay. 42. Nothing is sacred.
Or my favorite way to phrase it: there are
Yeah,
no sacred cows.
If you hold something sacred, don't share it on 4chan.
Yeah. Well,
Don't share it
it's
on
the
the
whole
internet. Period.
thing. It's the sort of thing where if you have something that you think is sacred, there's a certain sort of mentality that I think a lot of people can't really get their head around, and it's freeing, it's liberating to really kind of take that idea and realize that regardless of your thoughts on it, that number one, not everyone is going to agree, but number two, it emboldens your idea of it if you are able to make fun of it.
I
Just
agree.
because you hold something in esteem does not mean that it is perfect, that it is ascended from the heavens, that you are descended from the
Nothing
heavens.
is perfect though.
And
So-
there are always going to be things that there are people are sensitive about. Like, it
Mhm.
could be that someone's mom passed away. So
Mhm.
making your mom jokes at that person, they probably shouldn't seek out people, making those kind of jokes because it'll probably upset them. Conversely, they also probably, if they're very sensitive about that fact, should not share that online with people, especially people on 4chan, but just in the internet in general, because
In
there will be
saying
some
that-
asshole who will be like, "Oh, well, I find it entertaining to make fun of you and make you cry." So
In
Yeah.
saying that, I have seen posts on 4chan where someone's like, "My mom died," and everyone's like, "It's okay, you will get through it."
Yeah.
yeah,
Like-
maybe.
That they are
There are
assholes,
some,
but
yeah.
at the same time, they understand.
Oh yeah. I'll say, a good example of at least my mentality when it comes to this sort of thing is that I recently had a friend that unfortunately took his own life, and we all went to his funeral, his wake. It was very, very heartbreaking sort of thing, but where a lot of people who are who've got the holier than thou mentality and the there are sacred cows would sit there and get all offended and angry at people making suicide jokes. I doubled my suicide jokes that I would make, and I would do it to my friends who both lost this friend with me, because there is catharsis in trivializing something so
I had that conversation with somebody
world-shattering.
the other
The-
day. Is that I had one friend who's a soldier, and
Mhm.
who has lost people, fellow soldiers, and stuff like that. And it's a very sensitive subject for him, and the way he deals with it is just, I'm going to distract myself. I'm going to have a
Mhm.
drink. I'm going to hang out with my other friends and play video games, and I'm just going to not focus on this tragedy. Then I have another
I've
friend who has the entire opposite way of dealing with it.
gallows
Who-
humor.
Who would just be like, yeah, I'm going to make jokes about it, you know?
You
I
know
had
what?
someone that almost just
I've
tried
met
to kill
several
themselves the
soldiers.
other day, and then they, just that's how they dealt with it. And
I've known quite a few soldiers that the way they deal with these very traumatic issues and things that they've seen is to make the darkest jokes you've ever heard about them, and it's called gallows humor. It works.
Mhm.
it very much can.
Like
think we
like here in the UK, there is years ago it was popular. It was called something. I think it was 32 Bluestone or something, and it was just it was basically a sitcom about this squad of like bomb disposal in a war zone, and it was funny.
Yeah.
And I have never met a soldier in real life that didn't like it.
we are, since we're running out of time, I do want to kind of move through this a little
Yes.
more. So
Number 43, the more beautiful and pure a thing is, the more satisfying it is to corrupt it.
Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
that's pretty true.
Like trying to corrupt Mitzi. It doesn't work, so I gave up.
She's too pure for us.
She is too pure for this world.
Number 44, even one positive comment about Japanese things can turn you into a weeaboo.
Yes.
Yep.
Also true, because that'll be
Yes.
the first thing people come at you with. It's like, oh hey, I watched an anime for the first time today.
Fucking
one
weeb!
episode, yeah, one episode of this anime, and it was pretty good. It's
Weep!
like exactly, and that's true too.
Yes. Number 45, when one sees a lion, one must get into the car. This is another very specific meme. Where
Explain.
the format was Jesus Christ, it's a lion, get in the fucking car. To avoid the lion.
Like, have you ever been to one of those parks where you drive through the lion enclosure
Oh, yeah.
in your car? Like, them
Well-
fuckers don't give a shit. They will just come up, grab hold of your wing mirror, and just rip that
Tally,
fucker off.
we're not
They don't
British.
give
We don't
shit.
do that.
Funny.
The British do that. The rest of us don't really do that.
Well,
Just go to
safaris.
Africa on a safari and then like just
Well,
ride through.
Funny you say that. I've said before that I grew up Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
My brother still practices. He went on a mission,
Oh,
and he went to
no.
South Africa.
Oh no.
There was one time where he went to visit Teach with some family that was there. He walked out of the building where they were talking, and he was fully absorbed with something. I can't remember. I think he was like reading something. And then his partner grabs him by the shoulder and pulls him away and goes, "Okay, no, we're not going to the car." And he goes, "Why is that?" Looked around the corner. There was a lion, a full-grown male lion, sunbathing on the roof of their car, on the hood of their car. So of course he had to take a picture.
You know
of it,
what?
yeah.
I went to I'm more than happy to tell everyone. I grew up in the south of England in a place called Newquay, and Newquay's got a zoo, and their zoo has lions, and like a lion's roar is incredible. You can hear the lion roar from the other side of the town. Like
Mhm.
that's how far their roars travel. But we were there when they were feeding the lions. So all of the lions were in their indoors enclosure bit with the door shut so the zookeepers could go in and hang up all the meat and everything.
Mhm.
And we were looking for the lions. I turned around where there was this big glass plane that separated us from the lions. And there was a lion's head just on the other side of this glass. And this lion's head was about this big. They're huge.
Mhm.
Like,
and it wasn't standing on anything. It was like on the same level as me, but it was like up here, and its head was like this. And yeah, I can see why people are afraid of them fuckers. They're big
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're massive, massive creatures.
2 left.
But
and they're very powerful.
number 46, both of which are specific memes. 46, there's always furry porn of it.
Well,
That's the
yeah.
that's the bastard cousin of 43 that we don't we don't want to talk about. No, 34. Yeah, sorry, the bastard cousin of 34 that we don't want to talk about. And then 47, the pool is always closed. So this
Due to
is
AIDS or
Yeah.
stingrays.
yeah, stingrays, AIDS, and so on and so forth. This is a very, very specific meme as well. 4chan's B.
Hasbro
Callie,
Hotel.
So
let
yeah,
it
you
finish.
you already kind of know. There was a website game called Habbo
Hasbro.
Hotel. Habbo Hotel,
Whatever.
where it was essentially Legos. That's all it was.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would take great pride in their Habbo Hotel creations, and 4chan regularly love to go into people's hotels and fuck with them. They would create a whole bunch of sock accounts and make what they called the Nigra Man, where
it
it
was
was
a black man in a suit with a big afro.
a big afro, yeah. And they would do things like block off the pool so
Because at
no
the
one's
time you
avatar
couldn't
could
walk
get into the
through
pool.
other characters.
Yeah, there was collision detection. And they would just, when everyone was like, hey, move, I want to get in the pool, they would say, pool's closed due to AIDS and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think Habbo still exists.
Another thing that the people did was they would have those avatars, and then they would get in the pool in like a swastika.
And like a swastika, yeah. They would do shit like that. Again, it's the whole no sacred cow thing. Is that 4chan were doing it just to be funny and to piss you off?
Didn't for a short period of time the Hasbro at Habbo Hotel's website got closed for a while.
Oh yeah. They DDoSed it because there were so many people that were trying to log in.
Because Habbo Hotel was closed, like they closed the entire site down for a short amount of time.
Mhm.
People took this meme into the real life, and you can find like phone calls on YouTube of someone saying, hey, I have AIDS and I cut myself in your pool, so you might want to clear it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Jesus.
there's a whole bunch of shit like that.
I know
Well,
that clip is gonna. Do not clip that. Like, no, don't do it.
one of my favorites was back in 2004, especially places like here in Chicago at the Rosemont, at anime conventions. There would be tons of people who browsed 4chan that would dress up as the Nigra Man as their cosplay. There'd just be a whole legion of people that
I did
black
see-
face paint, afro wig, wearing a suit, and a red
Wow.
tie.
I did actually see that it like this meme got put on the news because this woman thought that this meme was targeting her grandkids specifically.
Well, I love it when people sit there and try to put in very like say that these sorts of things are targeting them specifically. Especially
All
when
because
4chan
her
is just doing it to
grandkids-
fuck with everyone.
See, all
but-
because her grandkids were half black. Like this was
Yeah.
targeting her and her family specifically.
But if you like go that far, if you sit there and say you are targeting me, that's just gonna make them target you. It's wish fulfillment at that point.
Grillin' Pirate Pete
It's a
says the site got
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Grillin' Pirate Pete says the site got closed down to a serious rash of pedos on the site. Oh, okay.
Oh, Habbo did.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Habbo.
Oh wow.
Well, unfortunately,
I wouldn't be shocked.
We will have to watch the Internet Historian for the full story on that.
Well, I think the Internet Historian just talked about
Polls closed.
4chan's raids on Habbo. I don't think he gets into the whole pedo thing.
He did
Although,
talk about the
I
fact
would
that
not-
the site was closed.
I would not at all be surprised if that kind of shit was actually a thing. I know.
Neither would I, because it's a site targeted at children.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there were lots of stuff, things like that 4chan went after.
Like,
I mean,
I remember Bebo when I was a kid. It was like Bebo was the big social networking site, but it
Mhm.
was for teenagers. Like everyone that was supposed to be using this site was supposed to be like 15 or younger.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you there were pedos on that site.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep. Anyway, kids, we are at our 1 hour and 30-minute mark. And Eve is already apparently a half hour late because we were leaving out
This
because I
time
got
it
somewhere
was
to
my
go.
fault.
It was
I take
entirely
full
Tally's
responsibility.
fault. So you know what?
I take
You know what?
full responsibility.
Tally. There you go. Anyway,
I'm glad I could be a little bit of a meme historian for
yes,
everyone
I didn't
today.
even get to the part of where your name comes from and your like obsession with 40K and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
But if you guys,
Well, this is he has been our professor in memology today, the Professor Inquisitor.
and he has so many other things that he's good at too, and we'd love to have him on again sometime to talk about more stuff. Especially, like I said, 40K lore. He's one of the few. He's one of the few people I know who just
Oh
knows
my God,
everything
if it-
about 40K. Like I don't
If
think
Well,
there's
not
anything.
everything,
We're
but
gonna
I
get
know a
into
good
40K.
amount.
If we're gonna get into 40K, he is definitely gonna have to join us, and it will have to be a series.
I don't know about that now. We might have to like just
Like we can probably just cover the
we'll
bare
do the
minimum
Cliff Notes
bases
version
of it.
because Jesus Christ, 40K lore can get
Like
extensive.
even if you want to, even if you just want to do the Cliff Notes version, we will be here for like 5 hours.
We'll see. Anyway, I want to say thank you to our awesome guest. Thank you to my amazing co-host Tally, and thank you to Chat for coming and hanging out with us today. If you like Quiz and find him entertaining and charming as we do, his links are down in the description below. You got his Twitter, account, his YouTube account, which he needs to put more content on, and as well as Minions of the Zoo, where I know him from. And he's also going to be seen weekly over on Polydub's channel Wednesday nights at 9 Central, or is it 10 Central? What time is it Eastern? You're Central with me. What time do y'all normally start?
We usually start at 9:30.
9:30 Central?
Yeah, I think it's 9:30.
Well,
9:30 Central.
9:30-ish Central. Over on Polydub's channel for comic book curation, where he talks about comic books too, so
I love comic books; they're great.
so you should go give him a follow or subscribe on all of those links, and yeah, I think that's gonna be it.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have to have you on again because cover comic books and 40K and nerdom in general, and isn't he cute as a button?
I know, right? Oh my goodness. So, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!
Lay back, relax, enjoy it all. Saturday night, it's time to say no more. S&M with Tally and KRC. Come pleasure or pain, welcome to the stream.